Guess what time it is? Time for glorious sounding. But we have some stuff stored up for you. Check it out. Hi guys, and welcome to the History Rats. I'm Kayan. This is my husband Johnny, our 10-year-old daughter Athena, and our mighty dog, Titan. Together, we make up the History Rats crew and family. We live on our 1974 Morgan Out Island 33 sailboat, Big Blue. Come and join us for the fun and the coastal adventure. When we aren't here on the docks doing projects, whether that's our boat projects or our boat neighbors' boat projects, we do most of our traveling on Pit and Pat. So here are 2 trips around Palacios on Pit and Pat, where we check out some cool stuff. Check it out. It even starts with dolphins. Oh!
They're
Oh, there's a whole family.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you can see it on there, but that is so cool. There was a whole, look, ah! No, the people in the boat need to go away. They're going to scare them off. Look at them.
Let's go eat.
That was the first person to take our picture on Halloween.
Yep. 1906 when I got here.
$1910 would have been when the house was built. Like the Pelicans.
Sierra and get her to go down in the park and take a picture of the marker that's down there on the walk through time. There's one down there about the McCrary Ice Company.
These here were, this was an officer's cabin, and these were, that was an enlisted cabin for Cubans. You could tell by the layout. Look familiar?
Yep.
And that was government, that was a housing, for family housing, and that was a barracks. Something like that.
That.
Okay, squad back in.
I like the fact that it's sidewalks.
There used to be flat roof style 70s motel right here. And the flat roofs caused the water to collect and mold and fall in. So they had them tore down just a couple of years ago. So we did a pretty good,
Did a number on them.
yeah, so
But, like I said, Carla put the,
that new maintenance guy is recycling the bricks, keeping the old bricks and put back in the building.
oh, that's awesome. That's amazing. But there was a double fountain right there in front. But that's where the pleasure pavilion ended up after Carla. is very pretty.
Have you been through downtown?
Yeah, I go through here. I've never walked down here.
This
Well-
is the old Palacios beacon right here.
And if you pay attention, the older buildings are dated.
I'd buy this for $200,000.
This is the building I did my urban exploring in.
It's out of what, 30s, 40s, 20s?
That was mostly
I should have been smarter when I was in there. Should have. Bet there was way more stuff to see in there.
Along with that.
See either this corner building or that corner building. I'd like to have an apartment upstairs and a women's outdoor store and dive store on the first floor. Very little midship. Because there's nothing around here for women. And where, as gay as it sounds, that's money, man. If there's no market for it, bring a demand.
And I mean, let's face it, women are everywhere,
Oh, yeah.
and they need stuff. Well, they might not need it.
Money where men won't.
Yeah, they might not need it, but they want it, and that's, you know.
That's where we were telling you the notary's at, is that white building right there.
Okay.
See, and if you look at the architecture, you notice what's different about the two buildings across the street from each other,
Yeah.
and that's why they lost their deal on, because they damaged the historic
They
architecture.
took the second, third floor off of it with the intentions to rebuild it. But they went back with all that modern brick and architecture and everything, and that's when they lost the grant, because windows down there.
There's the Fern Building. Look how pretty that is. Ooh, shit. Huh?
No gas station right here, Cap.
Yeah.
Captain Tommy actually has a stone in the park.
I thought about walking down the path and finding them and pointing it out to them.
Look at that.
When me and Kane first got here, we'd come up here and have picnics. That's where we come and eat dinner or lunch or whatever is at the gazebo right here. We'd walk like all the way down to the point and get our food and then walk over here and have lunch. People drive by and take our picture and everything. I'm sure we're on Facebook somewhere.
Captain Tommy's stone's back there.
You know, they have done a good job of taking care of what they got and building stuff that looks good.
Yeah, it was a 10-year reclamation period of this by the city, the government, and they ran all, because this used to be the cocaine capital. There was more cocaine imported here than in Miami, Florida.
Because of the shrimp boats.
Through the shrimp boats. And the government finally took over, got fed up with all the criminal activity that was here. And but they so much we just expected that shit. They had pushed it out. Most of them went to East Texas and became meth heads.
Yeah, up and down the Trinity River.
They painted the ranch.
Oh shit, they did.
And this is the old loading depot right here. Yeah. This road, you see the stop. And this road is literally the railroad tracks.
Didn't you say those were like station buildings?
That road.
The yellow one?
Most of the tracks are on the pavement. And it runs all the way through town. As you drive through town, going down that road next to the field. There's only one road that crosses over there. Southern Bell, all the way around. Give a whole new meaning to the wrong side of the track. Go back then, those get started. Yeah.
I'd rather be on the bay side. Oh, look. The moon! The moon! The plane! The plane!
You know, it's usually the south side of the track. It's the bad side.
Yeah.
In Granbury, it was the north side. But now I'm sitting on the south
And
side
there's
of the track.
Brian was the west side. Oh, sorry, the west side of the tracks. Cut through here. We didn't ride our bikes on the west side of the tracks. It was not safe.
What side of the tracks was DLE on?
I've been on the south side.
Yeah, that would have been the bad side for us.
Sleep to a movie.
Well, that's what we turned on Dances with Wolves for. We figured, you know, it was just boring enough that you'd go to sleep watching it.
And then I got...
We were wrong.
Yeah.
Now we got sucked right into that fucking movie.
Tintin! Tintin!
Going down the ICW at this time of day is really cool too, especially when the water's smooth like that.
Can you still see land?
I mean, ICW, it's on both sides of you.
Yeah, but well, I
It's
mean,
like as wide as this field. Big enough for tugboats and barges to pass you on one side, or to pass each other.
Well, isn't Lydia and cattle down in Fort A part of the ICW?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was funny.
look, and there's where we went for my first kayaking adventure. And where you almost died.
Yeah. How do you put a dent in them lives, right?
And it's also where I cut my piece of cactus, but I still haven't got to try agave.
The old foundations.
Old foundation to
Oyster loading. There was a big conveyor that ran from way over there, almost a mile away, and it would go through the ports, through the different turning basins, and they would bring the oysters and shrimp over here and load them onto rail cars to get up north as fast as possible. Ice cars. There's some more worthless.
Guys, today I'm going to the City by the Sea Museum and I'm going to make a donation. The history rats are going to be in a museum. Ah, it's a dream come true. Dreams do come true. Ha!
There's a shitload more stairs under the sand. Look at the rail.
Huh. That's actually pretty crazy.
I bet they go all the way down to the sea level.
Well, the ones down at the Bayside, there's only like 3. But there's at least 2 under the sand here.
No, there's at least 3 under the sand there.
Yeah. What you got?
Drink the water.
That's crazy.
No.
Not soft. Soft? Not soft. So weird. Look how flat it is. Got lots of yummy algae. That happens. It's nature. But look at how flat it is. Jetty. That tire. That tire is usually how we tell how far out the water is. And that is our mighty duck dog. So calm. So still. Until Titan comes along. Good boy! Good boy! Had to step away and take a break from the glorious sanding. And I thought it would be a good time to mention how awesome my mom is. She ordered us pizza from Dayton. Moms are awesome. I feel like I should warn you that when sanding teak, it can turn you yellow. But look how pretty that teak looks. So pretty. I would like to point out how awesome those look. I have some picture evidence of what I took off of them, and it's pretty awesome. I think I did a fantastic job, if I do say so myself. And I do. I do say so myself. Well, I think I'm finally done with the oh glorious sanding, at least for the stuff for the clarity. I still have some of our stuff that we have to do, but boat neighbors come first. So, what comes after the oh glorious sanding? The handy dandy varnish paintbrush. That's right. We're gonna take care of this wood, because after you sand it, you need to varnish. The greatest weapon in the world is not a paintbrush. It's supposed to be a pen. but the paintbrush comes in close second. Johnny and I have put on the first coat of varnish. And just to show you a difference, I haven't done these two railings yet. So you can see the difference. Most of the time, we travel by pit and pat or by bicycle, go leg power. But sometimes, like today, when we've invested most of our waking hours into glorious sanding, we have to borrow a vehicle because I don't really care to ride the bicycles in the dark. I have already been pulled over once on my bicycle for not having the appropriate lightage on my bicycle, because the last time I rode a bicycle, it was like the 1990s, and we were doing good to have reflectors, okay? We did not have light on our bike, let alone a headlight or a tail light. But anyway, I went to Lowe's to get the ingredients for our dinnerage, and I saw something on my way that made me think of Geneva and Jason, actually. So I thought I would do an update. First off, the glorious sanding takes a lot of time and effort, and while the product is beautiful, it doesn't look like I did much, but I've been doing a lot. So when eventually you see what I've been glorious sanding, because I've been saving it, remember, it looks more than it is. Oh, so here we are. Check it out. So I was driving by. Oh, I can't zoom in. Oh yeah, I can. There it goes. It's a Texans hood. Anyway, it made me think of Jason and Geneva. So I thought that was a good enough reason to give them a shout out and say, hey! Hope the girls are doing great. Go Mackenzie. Go Cadence. I'm not quite sure what Cadence is into anymore, but I know that Kenzie is doing the racing, and that's so cool. That is uber great. Athena loves watching her race, the little videos that you post. So, woo woo. Yeah. So, this is probably where we'll end the video. I hope you enjoyed checking out a little bit of Palacios on Pit and Pat. I hope you enjoyed my random little shout out to my sister and brother in Santa Fe. And were them dolphins not too awesome? I mean, that's my front yard that those dolphins were jumping in. I'd just like to point that out. That's our front yard. We were just walking over to dinner and there are dolphins jumping. How freaking cool is that? So anyway, I'm gonna take these groceries down to the boat, get some dinner cooking, and we'll see you next week. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave us a comment. Check us out on Facebook, Dark History with the History Rats on Facebook. We're on the Instagram under History Rats. And we'll see you next week. Be good to each other.